7:04, we'll call to order this town council meeting on Tuesday, February 28th. If everyone would please rise for pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, everyone be seated. Proclamations and presentations. So I have one that we'll be reading into the record tonight, and that is for Emma Tremblay on the occasion of her Gold Award. It was also presented on Sunday at an event at the UCC Church on the Green. So proclamation honoring Emma Tremblay on the occasion of her Gold Award. Whereas Emma Tremblay resides in Tolland, Connecticut, and is a member and ambassador of Girl Scout Troop 61199. And whereas Emma has been dedicating herself to the goal of obtaining the Girl Scouts of America prestigious award known as the Gold Award. And whereas the conferring of a Gold Award is one of the highest awards that can be bestowed on a Scout. Such award is an earned award in that the recipient must perform and successfully complete and pass the rigid requirements exacted to achieve a Gold Award. Gold Award Scouts are rock stars, role models, and real-life heroes. They use everything they've learned as a Girl Scout to solve a problem in their community or make a lasting change in their world. Seniors and ambassadors who want to go for the Gold Award build a team of trusted adults, peers, and leaders in their community to guide them through challenges and support their successes. And whereas only 6% of all the Girl Scouts actually achieve this goal, and whereas Emma developed the quote, "You Matter" initiative to help children and families in the earliest hours and days of foster care by inspiring the donation of brand new items that are most helpful for a child in a new foster home. With the support of the community, Emma inspired a donation of over 2,000 brand new items, totaling over $10,000, and assembled and delivered 100 duffel care bags to area foster care agencies and a local domestic violence group. In addition to all of the children in Tolland County who benefited, the program was further built out to be sustainable and easily replicated for seamless expansion for greater reach and impact. And whereas Emma Tremblay, having completed the requirements and having been examined by the Girl Scouts of Connecticut, has been found to be worthy of the Gold Award and will be honored and receive the award at a ceremony on February 26, 2023. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Stephen Jones, Chair of the Tolland Town Council, on behalf of the Town Council and community at large, wish to honor Emma Tremblay for this noteworthy achievement and recognize her contributions and dedication. We commend her on the significant occasion of achieving the Gold Award and wish her much luck and success in all her future endeavors. Dated at Tolland, Connecticut, this 26th day of 2023, February 2023. And thank you to the council members, Councilor Khan, Councilman Udacek, Councilman Nuccio, and I believe we had State Senator Gordon also there to present proclamations, other documentation. It was a great event. So thank you again, and congratulations, Emma. And we also will have two proclamations coming up in March for Women's History Month and Disability Awareness Month. All right, that brings us to item 5, public petitions, communication, and public participation. Any subject within jurisdiction of the town council with a 2-minute limit. If you are on a mobile device, you can hit *9 or the raise hand function. If you're in person, you can approach the table. All right, we have Claudette Morehouse. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get your attention. Paula's on. I don't know if Paula wants to say anything or.
Is Paul still on?
She jumped.
No, oh, she didn't. Never mind.
Okay. All right, no worries. All right. Well, for the record, thank you, Paula, for also hopping on. We really appreciate you. All right, Claudette Morehouse.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Claudette Morehouse, 89 Merlot Way in Tolland. I've just had a few questions. Will there be an update from the Contaminated Water Task Force or the town manager on this subject? Or have they had a meeting? I can't seem to locate any task force meeting on the websites. And will there a schedule and agenda be posted for future meetings with dates and times so that the public be able to attend, or will they still be held in closed session? We really do deserve to know what to expect moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudette. I do believe that there'll be an update from the task force during the reports of boards and committees responsible to the council. I'm not aware of any upcoming meetings, but I'm sure those will be posted as needed. All right, is there anyone else from the public? All right, going once, going twice. Item 6, public hearing items, we have none, so 7A, boards or boards and committees responsible to the council. The Firehouse Task Force, okay. Firehouse Task Force did not meet this month, will be, or subcommittee rather, did not meet this month, will be meeting next month. And Road Salt Task Force,
Yes, I believe that for the road salt task force, we're waiting for all members of the task force to respond to Attorney Conti's latest communication for next steps. And we're gonna meet after everyone has responded to the attorney and to move forward on those next steps. So things are continuing to be reviewed.
I think that is it for boards and committees responsible to the council, so reports of town council liaisons. Councilman Murray.
I attended the Historic District Commission meeting on the 16th. It was a rather robust meeting. They went over a lot of things. They have a grant for engineering of the ADA ramp and porch repairs for the Jailhouse Museum. But it sounds like they won't have the plans from that engineering report for another year. And I did loop in the town manager just because I know that the actual repairs are sort of earmarked for ARPA funding, and I wanted to make sure that the town manager was on top of that schedule, so we didn't fall out of that time frame. The Historic District Commission is very pleased that the Arts of Tolland roof is on the capital improvement plan and that the town is investing money in our historic green. There was some discussion about the Veterans Recognition Memorial, which I believe Councilor Lubo will talk about some more in his report regarding the Veterans Recognition Memorial on the green. This group did also talk about ADA sidewalks on the green. The Historic District Commission continues to discuss this subject. Numerous members expressed their concern about putting down concrete sidewalks on the green as they're not historically accurate. These are all things we've heard before. They have concerns with stamped concrete, referencing the stamped concrete in Ellington's green being slippery and aging badly. The Historic District Commission chair reached out to the Lebanon Public Works Department regarding the stone dust on the Lebanon public green. And she hopes to provide more information to Tolland's Public Works Department in an effort to give Scott Lappin some more information about this option. The group also continues to talk about how repairing the current historic stones is the best solution. I did talk to the group at this point and made them aware of my impression that this council wanted to move forward with a solution and encourage them to continue to communicate with us their perspectives and points of view and hope that we can come up with a solution that does bring ADA accessibility to the green. I do hope that we can continue to meet jointly with them as further decisions are made, as they really don't want to be left out. And I think it's important to get their input as those discussions happen. And I know Steve has been very willing to do that. So thank you for that. The Historic District Commission continues to work on formalized design guidelines for the Historic District in an effort to serve as a reference and to clarify on any policies regarding certificates of occupancy. I will say this group is working incredibly hard on these design guidelines. And if anyone wants to see the draft version, I think they have it in the planning office. But I think that this is a really important document for anyone on the green. So there's no confusion. And it really consolidates all the information that they have in one place. There was also a brief conversation regarding a potential certificate of approval or appropriateness, rather, sorry, request from the UCC church regarding a security camera and resurfacing of a roof on one of their buildings. So as I said, robust meeting.
All right,
And that's all I have.
thank you, Councilor Murray. Councilor Khan.
Don't have enough update, but last Friday, me and Luba met with Christopher Mohan. He applied for ethic commission. And Mr. Luba is trying to find more information on him, so
Okay.
hopefully we'll make a decision on it.
Great, sounds good. Water Commission met on the 22nd. They had some updates. They have not heard about the state revolving fund. They have some assessments that are a few decades old that they found outstanding, so they're trying to work through those, and figure out a solution for removing them from the lists. And that is it for me, Councilor Luba.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. That the Veterans Recognition Commission did meet. That it was again, a discussion with the Historic District representative regarding the Veterans Memorial on the Green. That there was a discussion about what some of the plans were as far as footprint and other things that were to be tied in. That with the VRC, that one of the things that there was several different plans, several different renderings that they were examining as far as what actually is on the green. That the intent is not to enlarge the footprint, but just sort of clean up the area to possibly look at, well, definitely removing the bushes and putting something in there so that it's more of a accessible 360 around the flagpole around the memorial there. Having a plaque put on the memorial, which updates it to reflect the Merchant Marines as well as the Space Force, to update it so that it meets all armed forces as recognized. That there was also a discussion about asking to have the one tree that is there that is basically dead to be removed. That the one issue that they're looking at though is where we've only gotten one bid, basically one estimate for the work to be done, and that they want to actually find Tolland businesses that would be willing and able to work on it. So they're looking for more bids or more people that would be interested as far as doing the work. And then there's a bunch of other things that were discussed, such as fundraising opportunities, sell a brick, as well as the benches that were also being looked at. So a lot of things going on with that. That there was discussions about other events. There was also I guess I could say a robust discussion about the budget that was proposed, and the discussion that they would like to carry on with Town Manager Foley on that, and that it was that they are looking forward to working with the Historic District as well as any other groups that would be interested in lending their input on the memorial, as well as other events where that they're looking down the road for Memorial Day Parade, as well as other events, and looking forward to coordinating with the PCC on those events as well. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Great, thank you, Councilor Luba. And sorry, I didn't mean to skip over you, Councilman Nuccio.
That's quite okay. I had a meeting with the PCC where we discussed Memorial Day parade, events that we were trying to plan for that. Also some coordinating town events to go along with it. And we got the awesome news that for the Harvest Fest in October, Cousin Lobster is going to be coming as one of our food trucks, which that made us all very happy. I think that's about it. It was mainly focused on the Memorial Day parade and getting everything lined up for that.
All right, great, thank you. Councilman Yudichak.
Sure. So the Commission with People, People with Disabilities met on February 16th. State Representative Amy Nuccio was at that meeting. She talked about discussion on the new House Bill 5001, an act concern resources and support services for persons with intellectual disability. Amy can jump in if you want to on this, but it's basically, it sounds like it's the #1 priority bill that everybody wants to work on together to get something done. I know she's a counselor and a rep, but am I right on that, Tammy?
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Colleen. So the Speaker of the House started something kind of new last year with 5001 being a bill that is bipartisanly worked on with both sides of the aisle, and it is the #1 topic of the year. And this year the Speaker of the House has committed $100 million to looking at the issues that people in the disabled community have, from housing, transportation, transition programs, employment, and all kinds of other things. So there's a lot of work going on right now to try to reduce the wait list for people with housing and other needs in the disabled community. And I felt it was important to kind of bring this forward to our Commission on People with Disabilities. The same things that they're talking about are the things that we're talking about in 5001. So it was a good opportunity to sit down with everybody, talk about the bill, make sure my focus, I'm working on 5001 again this year. So make sure my focus is in line with what the community and the residents want. So it was a good conversation. Thank you, Colleen, for asking.
That's hard to distinguish the two, but I felt it was important that Tammy really clarified that. And unfortunately, Kim Little stepped down as the vice chair, which is a tremendous loss to the commission and community, but she'll still be involved. And just the APA stuff, that's gonna be what we're gonna be voting on in a little bit, but Lynn did a tremendous job updating the APA subcommittee portion under town council on the website. Tammy might want to take a look at it. Lynn did an amazing job. It has a lot of good information, more than I expected her to put on there. So it's very good. So that's all I have.
Thank you. That brings us to new business 8.1, consideration of a resolution to authorize the Director of Finance and Records to use such documents as are necessary to settle claims against certain pharmaceutical distributors and manufacturers related to the prescription of opioids.
As you know, Council Chair, that there was a federal lawsuit brought against the pharmaceutical big pharma in relation to the opioids. There's been billions of dollars in settlements, of which Connecticut just got another 18 billion sent in its direction. Connecticut, Tolland is one of the communities that's involved in that lawsuit. Some funding will be coming to the town to spend on in the efforts of opioid addiction. We're currently investigating the best ways to spend that money. However, the formalities of that Lisa has to sign some documents in order to begin processing those funds coming in. This is a request for permission to do that.
All right, thank you, Brian. So just a quick question. What is the anticipated amount of settlement funds that you think we're getting from all these various companies over the next, I know it says 6 to 15 years, and do we have a rough estimate of what the payout might be over that period of time? Oh, Lisa, here she comes.
Well, I've been here, I just don't put my picture on.
Do you have an estimate, Lisa?
Do you want me to respond?
I do.
I don't have the exact dollar amount as of yet. There's been different lawsuits that have been settled and moving forward. I think we've received in the mid 30,000 so far, but I don't have the full amounts as of yet.
Okay, and I forget when we filed any settlements, do we have a designated account where these funds are going to? Is it CNRE or another dedicated fund?
They're going into a special account where they're being kept aside. So the funds will at some point have to be determined to be used under the regulations required for the use of those funds going forward. So, you know, assisting with mental health issues or not mental health, narcotic use, things like that to help prevent it and things and so forth. There's a number of things that it has to be used for. So I know that staff is working on some ideas to bring forward once the funds are sufficient to do so.
Council Chair, I reached out to Eastern Highland Health District and asked them for their advice on the best appropriate use of these funds, advice only. Moreover, there's a meeting coming up. I think next week, it could be this week, with my old pal Mayor O'Leary in Waterbury, but he's running it for CCM on the same topic, best appropriate uses for that, of which Babby and Meg, I believe, are going to attend as well. So we should have some good ideas as opposed to just guessing. And then obviously this is a topic very near and dear to me from a previous lifetime. So
All right, thank you, Brian. And I guess one other follow-up question, would any of those funds be restricted from being used to either support the LPC or the mental health task force in their efforts?
Unknown, I'd have to read this, the strings attached.
Okay, I think those would be two potential grassroots organizations that would be beneficial
Yep.
to help combat opioid use. And then Councilman Nuccio, your hand is raised.
Yep, thank you very much. Just kind of a follow-up, I would also like to understand exactly, I asked this this week in Hartford, but I'd like to understand exactly how much money Tolland is going to be getting from the opioid settlement. And then as far as the LPC, I'm just a little concerned. I would like to know what they're going to spend it on, you know, how we're going to use this money. So I'd like to understand what proposals come forward. So we're looking at making sure we're using this money the best way possible for prevention and education. So add me onto the list of people to try to figure out how we're going to spend this, please.
Thank you, Councilman Nuccio. And for the record, LPC is Local Prevention Council. Are there any other questions from council members? All right, seeing none, I entertain a motion to approve the resolution as outlined in 8.1.
So moved.
So by Councilor Luba, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Yudichak. Do a roll call vote since we're semi-hybrid. Councilor Murray.
Aye.
Councilor Khan.
Aye.
Councilman Nuccio.
Yes, sorry.
Caught you on the backswing. Councilor Luba.
Aye.
Councilman Nuccio, or Councilman Yudichak.
Sorry, aye.
And I'm an aye, so that is unanimous. That brings us to 8.2, consideration of resolution for various ARPA subcommittee funding use recommendations in the fiscal year 23-24 capital improvement budget and other project recommendations.
So we had a robust ARPA meeting this week, and I anticipate some ARPA funds to start flowing now that ARPA committees really starting to push things forward here on our list. So there's a list, as you can see in your package, and I'll go over them very quickly right now. The intermediate school seclusion rooms updates, which I think we discussed here. It's some improvements to the nurses station. Renovations also centered around safety. The one public works heavy duty truck, forest management plan through our planning, Dave Cochran. Field improvements for the Little League to include softball and baseball. And then a temporary ice rink. And I want to note all of these 6 recommendations for ARPA spending passed our ARPA commission unanimously, which consists of myself, Councilman Yudichak is the chair, Councilman Nuccio is on it, as well as our finance director, Lisa Hancock.
All right. Just one quick question to get things rolling. So just to clarify, the items that are capital items are from this fiscal year, correct? Or this upcoming year?
Yes.
And will that impact or change at all the total amount that's being put in for the capital budget year? Or would we be shifting any expenses from a second or third year to be prioritized for the first year?
Lisa, did we shift anything on that?
No, what we have is that it offset the amount of debt we have to issue next year by putting year one projects forward. We really could not shift anything from another year into year one because of the way our debt plan is scheduled to be able to have the least impact on the mill rate going forward.
Okay. And then one quick question, if Lisa or Brian, if you know, because I wasn't able to attend the Conservation Commission meeting, is the $15,000, is that for the ongoing phase 1 or phase 2 of their forestry management? If you happen to know.
I don't know. I know what it is. They're removing trees and they're hoping
Yeah.
to sell, but beyond that, I don't know.
Okay.
I have the answer to that. That is phase 2.
Okay,
Phase 1, we did have some funds that we used from savings last year
yeah,
towards the first part, and this is phase 2, and then whatever sales come through for timber can help continue to move forward with the program.
all right, great, thank you, Lisa, and then just one other quick comment, thank you to Lynn and staff for quickly updating the packet with all the information here, it's really good to have context, and Councilman Yudichak brought that up, it's good to have all this information before us, and glad it was unanimous support. Councilman Nuccio?
I just have one follow-up question for Lisa. I know we had approved them doing this forestry plan before and they were going to be harvesting wood and it was supposed to offset it and that. Has that occurred? Is there money that's been offsetting?
Not yet, no. They've done the initial planning parts of the project, but they have not had the sale of timber come through as of yet. But it will be forthcoming once they get moving on cutting down the trees and all that's associated with it.
I thought the original intent with this was though that we were only gonna approve the first part, then they were gonna do that, see how much money they left, and then we were gonna do the
And they-
second part.
And we had kept it on hold in the meeting, and when I spoke with David Corcoran, and he spoke with the rest of the commission, they felt that they still needed this extra funds. They had originally asked for 20,000 for the second part of it, and he felt that they needed the extra 15,000 to be able to move forward with the rest of the project and then continue going on that. I think there was some information in the ARPA packet that had his description. I can pull it up and give you exactly what he said. If you'd like.
That's okay, I can go back and look. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and I believe they're doing Parsiac first. I think that was one that was most impacted. And then I think after that, I forget which trail they were gonna do next, but yeah, I think they were going for some of the heaviest hitters that they could. I think like Councilman Nuccio was saying, that would get kind of the biggest bang for their buck and start building up a revolving fund so that they can do this with all the trails going forward in a self-sustaining way.
And Campbell as well.
In Campbell's, yeah. Sorry, Councilman Nuccio, did you have any other questions? Okay. Thank you. Are there any other questions from the council members? All right,
Just a question.
Councilman Yudichak.
I assume we're gonna vote on all these things at once. Tammy, are you okay with the forest thing? Because unfortunately you couldn't make that meeting. Are you good with moving that forward, or do you want to take that and do a separate vote on that?
No, I think I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I know what they were doing from the past and all that. I just thought that they were gonna be raising the money first. And then whatever the difference was coming back, so, you know, that's the only difference, but I'm good with it.
Oh, okay, just want to make sure. Okay.
Thank you, Colleen.
Councilman Burke?
And I just wanted to thank the ARPA subcommittee. This is a great summary of what we're being asked to consider. And also it's very clear that a lot of work went into this on the back end. So thank you for all the efforts required to bring it to us in such a easy to understand way.
No, I agree. Actually, that does bring up one other question now that I have for the ARPA subcommittee. I know we've been getting a lot of public safety, public works, recreation. Are there any departments that you feel like are being underserved or maybe you should reach out to provide additional opportunities for ARPA funding, or do you have a pretty solid list of pending items?
I mean, any of us can answer that, but
Okay.
first, I think,
Sure.
each department has something on there
Okay.
that's requested something. I'm just trying to keep it organized and what Ryan and Lisa thinks is best as far as capital items. They usually give us not push, but an idea of what should most important. Tammy, am I right on that, or you have a different opinion? No, we can have
Oh,
different.
yeah. No, like we have a lot of people, Steve, that have come forward with things and that in departments and stuff. And, you know, we're looking at all of them as reasonably and responsibly as we can, knowing how much money we have. And almost everything that we're doing is to lower debt, things that are good for the residents, but that's also going to help us on the tax perspective going forward. And we've done a really good job, I think, you know, all of us have really done a good job of pushing back on some things and talking about things better, more and in depth and looking for ways that's going to positively impact the residents. We have a lot of stuff that's on there yet going forward. I think we've got more money that people want than we have. So, you know, it's really going to come down to the research that's being done and all that. I feel like, you know, if you look at the spreadsheet, there's a lot of stuff that's on there. We haven't brought forward because we haven't vetted it yet.
Yeah, and it
And
should
we're
be.
also trying to not just spend the money on one fell swoop. We're trying to be extremely responsible about this.
Yeah, no, I think just the thought came to mind. I can't remember who I was having a conversation with, but they had heard other towns potentially using ARPA money to support their EDCs to like help them be more robust for outreach and attracting new businesses. So I wasn't sure if that had, I was double checking the list to see if it was on here and I wasn't sure if I had seen it or if it's an applicable use. Oh, I see Lisa shaking her head, but
Yeah, we don't have businesses, but Lisa can probably answer. Did you ask them about businesses? Lisa could answer to that.
Sarah's shaking her head, so she might be able to.
She gonna know, yes.
I don't know of any on there.
There is a
Yeah.
business.
There's nothing on our list right now regarding economic development going forward. Any sort of initiatives. The Economic Development Commission does have a budget in the general fund.
Okay,
And, you know, they may want to use some of those funds for some of their initiatives going forward. But if there is something, you know, it could certainly be brought forward to the commission, the subcommittee, to discuss if there's something special that could be put forward to help improve economic development.
okay, no worries, yeah, sounds good. If I hear any more, I'll definitely touch base.
And we did add, or Lisa and Brian added to it some money. Talk about a hold off $500,000 for ADA for the green, right?
Yep.
It's on here, so,
I don't anticipate it costing that much, but we're waiting for Chuck to come back with this.
but at least he took a recommendation that we talked about the capital meeting and is
Yep.
on here now. Yeah.
That's great, thank you.
Did you get that, Brian?
I got it. Duly noted. Tattoo of it.
All right, seeing no other conversation, I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution as outlined in 8.2.
So moved.
Then moved by Counselor Luba, is there a second?
Second,
Seconded by Counselor Murray. All right, we'll do a roll call vote. Counselor Murray,
I,
Counselor Khan, Councilman Nuccio,
Sorry.
Counselor Luba,
Aye.
Councilman Yudichak.
Aye.
I have an aye, so that is unanimous. That brings us to 8.3, appointments of vacancies on municipal boards and commissions. We have none tonight, but sad to see Kim Little going, but certainly that means there's an opportunity for someone else to jump into that group. And they're very robust and obviously very busy, so anyone at home that's interested, reach out to vacancies at tollandcp.gov. Brings us to 9, old business, which there's none. Item 10, report of the town manager. Any updates in Select's report?
Sure, let me just bring you up to date, as you heard last week when we were talking, I have a list of projects that are important to me, so I'll start with the sidewalks, where we are with that. Our engineer has been approved, we have the budget to have him come together with an estimate on the green project. While I'm in the neighborhood here, I'll also say that I did meet with Jody Coleman Marzialo regarding this, and I assured her she will have, regardless, we received her advice as we required from the Historic Commission on the sidewalks. Regardless of, I have to move forward with something and make a decision. Either way, I will connect with them often for their decisions, and I communicated that to her. One way or the other. I'm happy to receive what they get from Lebanon. It's certainly a different type of green, but always welcome to hear what they have to say, because certainly positive intent on their part. Sale of the Water Commission. The Water Commission hired an attorney. That's going to be moving forward. Ordinance 60, for family reasons, one of the people that's assisting had to take a week off, but that's going to jump forward again this week. I'm assured the softball and baseball field improvements were just approved here. I did not communicate it tonight, but that when the Little League came here, I said that the first thing I said is this at best to include softball as well. They did. So there'll be improvements to all of both baseball and softball. The DPW apparatus review, for those who don't know, that is a review similar to what we had with the public safety that will determine basically what we need for apparatus or vehicles, trucks, etc. So we can define what our fleet should be based on the service needs of our community, and from there plan out a responsible maintenance, upkeep, and either refurbishing or purchasing of newer used vehicles moving forward. But right now we don't have that type of review, and we are just guessing. I met with the Girl Scouts today. coincidentally, in regards to the ADA accessibility. They will be coming through with another ARPA request. And this is based on, they have requested $200,000 for the walkway, the ADA accessible walkway up to the baseball fields at, not Birch Grove, Cross Farms. Now, that came in about $91,000 under budget. Now they're gonna ask if we can find a way to spend that extra money that was left over for an ADA accessible walkway to a soccer field, considering a lot of things. Nice to have ADA accessible soccer field here in town, considering parents and grandparents, but we also have a disabled soccer coach in town that has a hard time getting to one of the fields. So that was discussed today. I anticipate an ARPA request coming from there. The Girl Scouts camp up in the Plains Road. That's moving forward. Again, they're making a significant investment. We had a meeting with our town engineer, buildings person, fire marshal on site last week. Moving forward, following emails, as far as I can tell, our town is, the town is, they can to facilitate that. Farmers Market in the Greens moving forward. We're in a regular bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, we're having a meeting in regards to that. There's a state veteran ceremony that Sarah Bass working with the Lieutenant Governor's office on coming up. There was some confusion, but Sarah Bass going to captain that and work it. She's also captaining a shredding event that we'll have in concurrence with our electronics, the same day and place when we do the electronic stuff. I've been following security enhancements in town. That's in the CIP budget. Nothing new with that. I want to make it clear for a lot of people, anyone that's listening, the veterans area on the green, there currently is a monument there with engravings on both sides. That monument is only accessible to disabled veterans on one side. What the area we're looking to improve is to make it a disabled, we want the monument to be accessible to disabled veterans. And anyone, obviously, with ADA needs, but the main concern is that, there's engravings on this side and on the north side of the monument, and disabled veterans can't access that at this point. So that was the main point of that, and I worked closely with Pern on that. I hopefully he's communicating that. We walked, and as we get to the fine tuning, when Chuck works that out, we'll work out how we're gonna. Obviously, I don't need any say in that. That should be entirely between you, the Historic Commission, and anyone else over there. However, in the absence of coming to a complete agreement, obviously I would make decisions to move forward. But we need that. I think the town needs that to be ADA accessible. I'm really pushing vacancies and commissions. I'm working closely with Ms. Burns and Mr. McCann in regards to the upcoming elections and the polarization in town. They are just fantastic. Also along the same lines with Mr. Bach and Mr. Wyman, we've discussed the early voting that's likely coming to the 2023 election as a test run, I'm guessing, for the big one in 2 years. I have complete confidence in Mr. Wyman and Mr. Bach to handle that. Reese Across America is moving well. Sorry, this is taking so long.
What was it across America?
Reeds.
Oh,
Read
Yes.
First I said read across America. I was like, they're here.
yeah.
And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Brian. Are there any questions from council members regarding the update? All right, seeing none, we'll move to item 11, adoption of minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the adoption of minutes as outlined in 11.1 through 11.3.
So moved.
There's a second.
Second.
All right. Do a roll call vote. Councilor Murray,
Aye.
Councilor Khan, Councilor Minuccio,
Aye.
Councilor Luba,
Aye.
Councilor Yudichak.
Aye.
And I'm an aye, so that is unanimous. That brings us to item 12, correspondence to council.
So between February 15th and tonight, we had 6 email communications, one regarding the Girl Scout Gold Award, which we referenced earlier in the meeting, one regarding sidewalks in the green, 3 regarding the Board of Ed budget, and 1 regarding contaminated wells.
All right, thank you, Councilor Murray. That brings us to 12 chairpersons report, so next chair hours tomorrow night, Wednesday, February 1st, 6:30 to 7:30 at the library. Communications, received a couple as well as one from Councilman Murray from the senators' offices, the US senators, on the appropriation requests. So I believe those were passed on to Brian's office.
They were.
Probably circle back with, I think, Lisa, we might have done a few requests last year, so I don't know if any of those could be reapplied, or if there's any new requests we could submit to them for consideration.
There may be.
And then CROG, we held a policy board meeting on the 22nd. We did receive we accepted the $2 million grant for Kremlin Foundations. That was through HUD and Congressman Courtney's office. It'll be mediation for low to moderate income families. And they're gonna work with CIFSIC and HUD to help execute the funds. They also received $189,000 for regional natural hazard mitigation plans and $10,000 to help the Capital Region Medical Reserve Corps Mission Ready Logistics Support Team. We completed the 6-month review of Town Manager Foley, and the annual review will be conducted in June, July of this year. Third Wednesday in May has been confirmed as for the joint open house event. Pending location is the Fire Training Center on Merrill Road. Just have to touch base with Brian's office. I believe Chief Lytle dropped off paperwork to fill out for that space. And as a budget timeline reminder, March 8th, we received the town manager's budget, and then discussion the 15th, 16th, and 20th, with a public hearing on the 23rd. And I'm sure Councilman Muccio is probably unmuted because she's happy that we are not having a budget discussion. on the same-
St. Patrick's Day. It's about time.
Sometimes it's all about the right year.
Yeah.
All right, and that is it for me for chairperson's report. So we'll move on to communications and petitions from council members.
I do.
Councilman Muccio.
First, I just want to say thank you to the Public Works Department and Safety and the town manager and staff for making it like a seamless snow day on the roads. Second, this is probably like a big ask, but the night that we vote on the budget, which is March 28th, I think it's a regular meeting and a voting meeting. But anyways, we can change the time later, like 7:30, or change the budget time to a different day. I have an obligation that I don't want to miss, and I think Vice Chair might too, I think. So I don't know if that's something possible to.
Yeah, you can circle back with Brian's office and see if the date is anything required within the charter or
Which
has
date is that?
flexibility. It's the March 28th, so it is the regular meeting date, but we also have the budget vote at 6 PM on that time as well. So yeah, I believe this was a similar issue last year. I think there were a couple of council members who had conflicts. I know Vice Chair Regan will be likely attending because I think their son is graduating, and
I think
Yeah.
it's the same concert.
Let's
Yeah.
touch base on that. Was reading today and I remember seeing a no later than March 27th somewhere. That might have been 28th, but, well, I'll examine that, council.
I just don't want to screw it up for other counselors. Like, I don't want to make a big deal that.
I'm sure we can be flexible.
Yeah, nothing.
Everyone here.
I got nothing.
We'll find some flexibility.
I'm sure Tammy has nothing to do either, so.
I've got something every night. Don't wait for me.
Yeah.
But no, those are really just something I just want to.
Thank you, Councilman Rich. I can actually, I'll piggyback off of that and also give a kudos to DPW and Public Safety for their response on Friday to the weather-related event from the freezing over and all the trees coming down. I don't know if they have the statistics yet of how many trees and how many wires, but it seems like Tolland was hit the hardest.
We definitely had the most,
Carpentry.
we had the most power outages in the state, council chair, and I should have thanked them in my manager's report, so both, thank you for reminding me. Obviously, I spent the day at Chief Lytle's side and going over, making sure everything got back up and running. And Eversource really did a good job of getting our town and getting the resources there. I did push a couple of buttons upstairs, but we worked out well for our town.
No, that's great. And then the other thing is just a quick kudos to the Tolland Public Library and the Friends of the Library. They hosted a pretty unique after-hours event regarding 80 beers around the world. It was a great event, good community, got a wide range of folks, and
Couldn't make it. Couldn't make it.
I told town manager, we'll get some more council members there next time. I think there's a lot of popularity, so they'll probably come back. Councilman Murray.
Yeah, I just wanted to, give a shout out to the Tolland Pride Group, they're working, very diligently on planning a Tolland Pride on the green, this year. I know, there have been some challenges that have come up that I get lucky enough to hear firsthand account about. So, town manager might get a call from my house with some questions, but, I am looking forward to a Tolland Pride event on the green, hopefully, this June. So
I don't anticipate those challenges coming up being a problem.
great. I'm very excited to hear that.
Yep. I communicated that to Lisa.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other petitions or communications? All right, seeing none, we'll move to item 15, public listed participation on any subject within the jurisdiction of the town council with a 3-minute limit. If you're on a mobile device or online, you can hit *9 at the raise hand function, though I recognize every single person on Zoom, so I'm gonna assume nobody else is from the public, but we'll go once, going twice. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:50 PM.
So moved.
So by Councilor Luba, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councilor Murray. All those in favor, Councilor Murray,
Aye.
Councilor Khan, Councilor Minuccio,
Hi.
Councilor Luba,
Aye.
Unicheck.
Aye.
I'm an aye, says unanimous. We are adjourned at 7:50. Thank you.